So, I've installed the rocks and I created these 4 variations. There's a large one, there's a medium large, there's a reasonably large and a small. So obviously these are the 4 that I'm going to use, and obviously these will be rotated at different and positioned differently. Hopefully within Gaia, I haven't had a look yet, that there's some kind of depth thing so that this can be varied, and I'm presuming that there's going to be some kind of rotation thing so that they can be rotated. So let's get on with it. We can remove these from the skein. And here in the Gaia tools, we have the biome. And everything's offset except for this one, I clicked the create new spawner. I forgot to press record, to be honest. I created a spawner. That's that. And so that's active. And here it is. I've called it Beach Rocks. And right, I'm going to have to read some through this as I go. This spawner has no rules yet. Clicking the button below to add your first rule. Creates first spawn rule. Alternatively, you can select a resource type for the drop area below. Yeah, I don't know what that means. And drag and drop a resource on the box to add it. Oh. Where's the drop area? Can I just add? I presume that that's going to be in. Now for now, let me lock that. I'll just create one manually. Texture. So it's not going to let me do prefabs. Game object. Select resource. Oh, there we go, prefabs. Resource name. My large flat rock. Add instance. Sort of just. Oh, this is it. Minimum instances. Oh yeah, right, we're going to get ridiculous. As I mentioned, I have no idea about how this works. Resource type. A large flat rock. That's what we've called it. Prefabs. Offset. Defines an offset on the x-axis from the spawn point for this instance. Yeah, I don't really know what that means, so this is a guessing game. I'm presuming it's just this is an up and down, and I'm going to go the same. Now I'm going to save this, and I want to have a look at one of the other stones, see what it says about them. Oh, offset, not the same as rotation. My bad. Rotate to slope. Not really. Forward to slope. I'll look at that in a bit. Scale. Fixed. Random. Minimum scale. So this is a large one, so I'll say 0.8 to 1.5. Now let's have a look at this large rock. Yeah, I don't really want it to be bigger than that. So 0.5 to 1. I'll put 1.2 just in case, and I'll put 1.7. And now do I have to do this to add another one, or to add this one? Let's save. I need to check that offset thing. I'll look at that at the other rock, see what that means. I know it means like off to the right, or off to the left, or off to that side, or off to this side, and in that case it doesn't really need no offset. What would the Y one mean? Up or down? Up or down, possibly up or down, but then it's already got a rotation. Yeah, so spawn offset. What does 0 do? Yeah, it puts it at 1. Spawn probability. I'm going to create them all within this one spawn, so that will be I want a lot of the smaller ones and less of the larger ones, so I'll go 20% possibility. Now I'll go 20, there's 4 rocks, so I'll go 25. I'll take them up in increments of 25, just because I like uniform numbers, uniform type numbers. Rotate to slope. Not really. Forward slope, right, I've done that bit. Under scale. I don't think we need to add that. That's to add another rock, I think. Adds another instance to this game object. So yes. Let's see what this... Let's continue here first to see if it uses a universal spawning for each instance that I add. Spawn probability. Right, we'll leave that at 100% for now, because I'm not sure whether it applies for one or all rocks. Start offset. Location increments. I think I'm just going to end up spawning this on probably one terrain to see what it looks like, to see what it actually does. Because I don't get half of this. The spawned objects from this rule might collide with themselves according to the current minimum location increment. Jitter and bound radius, minimum area fitness. It's got to be 100% fitness. I'm going to leave the things that I don't know what they are off and just try a spawn and see what it does. I'm going to check with the other rocks first. Bounds. Yeah, I'll check with the other ones. I think that's referring to these game object spawns. So I'm going to add another one, I think, and I'm going to call it beach spawns. I like to call things mine because it tells me that it's something that I did myself. But I'll leave it at that. Let's just check, see if there wasn't a texture option, which texture it's going to land on. Yeah, well, there was nothing about a texture layer. That might be a mask. Image mask. Is there a texture mask? Terrain texture. Nothing about layers. Terrain texture. Sand. Yeah, that's the 8. Use this curve to remap or cut off strength in your mask stack. The left side represents areas with no strength, the right side full strength. Use the curve to adjust or cut off the strength of the mask selection while keeping an eye on the visualization. Yeah, I'll look at the others to see what the others are doing. I'll save that for now. And I'll just check. There's a stone one here. And I've locked that anti. So I've got, so let's check this one. No mask, so that can be anywhere. I don't like that's got a mask either. No mask. Terrain texture. Grass. They're just 0 to, yeah, terrain strength. So that's, I'll need one of those strength transforms. Let's have a look at the resource settings, what that offset thing is. Yeah, they're left at 0. Yeah. 1 to 1.5, the random percent 50. 90, 100. Yeah. It's, I mean, I could sit here reading these all day, reading these, some of them get quite complicated and I don't know half of the wording in it anyway, so I'm just going to guess at it. This was, what was this? Strength, wasn't it? Strength transform. Yeah, and I want that to be 100%, so would that be... Yeah. Oh. That. I don't want them appearing on... Otherwise they'll appear all over the terrain and I don't want them there. I want them just on the beach if possible. Right, I'm going to pause, have a think whether and a quick look round to see whether I should actually go for this. In fact, I'm going to go for it to see what it actually does. If in doubt, press a button. I'm going to save it first. I'm going to close that rule. That's the large beach one. I'll call it very orange. I'll save again and the possibility was 25%, wasn't it? So Right. Let's go for it, see how many it puts up there. I'm just going to make sure, double check that there's no texture activated or anything like that. Nothing's activated, just the one that I'm spawning. So I'll go into the spawn and or fit to the world. I think you have to come out there and fit to the world. Let's just double check before we press go. Move that recording button out of the way. I'm going to the... Yeah, you do. You have to go into there. Shall I spawn it from here? I just kind of prefer to go in here. I feel safer if I go into there. And let's presume that it's spawned into the world. Spawn world. Go for it. So, I'll come back when that's finished and show you the result. And your guess is as good as mine. If you've seen the settings, you may know more than me, so... Oh, I know what I didn't do. I didn't do an height thing, so these will be all under the ocean as well. So that's the first mistake. Okay, so I'll pause this and let you know when it's finished. Okay, so what that did is it began to spawn these rocks, but these are all underwater, these. So I don't really need those. And it did that on a few terrains before I stopped it. And these are the ones that is spawned on one terrain. Let's go to that terrain. 32. And it's actually spawned, I believe, 35,000 of them. And it's only done about, well, I'll tell you, it's done 6 terrains. 6 terrains and there's 35,000, so that's got to be... But that's, I mean, when you look at this terrain, I mean, these are basically flat terrain tiles. And I only came out this far, so basically I will be putting a border up here where like a no-fly zone. I didn't want them to fly out here underwater in a Dragon, for instance, and reach the edge and see the edge. So, I mean, as you can see, almost about 2/3 of this terrain are underwater. So I don't need that. I only need these rocks to go out about say 3 meters, 2 meters deep into below the sea level. So let me find those again and delete them. Let me zoom onto one rock. And so 37,000 instances. Which is way, way, way too many. Now, if I spawn, this is not going to work with this, because I don't want to remove the rocks from the other places. So I'm going to go beach, and delete those game objects. And that should disappear. Yes. So, I'll be back again to do this again next time. I'll put a depth mask on it as well. And I'll also remove all the trees and other game objects, etc. So what I'm doing now will zoom out faster. Because it's a pain in the butt trying to get it to zoom in and out with trees and that. Although it flies okay, the train itself, it no longer jerks around like it didn't last time. So I'll switch everything off except for the water. I need the water on. So there's that. What are we doing? Right, well, I need to find the game objects. Every instance of that. And deactivate all the game objects. And if you see here, I also noticed this, and I thought this was what the rocks were spawning. Somewhere there are trees underwater. This may be from a previous spawn, or yeah, I can't find them. I'll find them later and sort them out. So until next time, I'll catch you later.